Alrighty, and we are live. How's it going, Mets and overall baseball fans? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, do me a favor and spam those W's in the comments below as the Mets take game one of a three-game set against the Philadelphia Phillies at home at Citi Field. Your boy was in attendance. I'm currently stuck in the Citi Field parking lot traffic per usual as I have a long hike back to PA, but thankfully it's going to be a smooth drive for me knowing that I'm now 4-0 at Citi Field this year. Damn, does that feel good to say. I don't know if I'm a good luck charm. I don't know if I deserve season tickets, but what I do know is that thankfully things have went in my favor in every game I've been in attendance of so far this season. And before we break down what was a nice 2-0 victory for the Metropolitans, led by the pitching, I want to give a quick shout out to my good friend Jonah, who's being a sweetheart. He's doing the driving today. There's him. He's a Phillies fan, so no one's perfect, right? But thankfully, if things worked out in my end, you get the free drive because I set him up with a ticket. Shout out to my great friend Dan for making that happen. Per usual, we were sitting behind home plate in the Delta Club, section 17. Beautiful seats. Had a lot of fun. We were more by the Phillies dugout side, so it was nice to, you're hearing the heckling and all that stuff, but a great game to be at. Again, not a whole lot of offense, but the Mets got enough, and that's all that matters. And Ranger Suarez, who, again, has not pitched well at all so far this season, had a very sharp start. Of course, he has a rebound start against the New York Mets, because if you're struggling, you face the New York Mets, and you tend to do well. That is usually the case, right? But Kodai Senga, who's been nothing short of an absolute stud at home games this year, if he can start to get that control working on the road, then boy, oh boy, do the Mets have a potential ace in the future here with Kodai Senga, who, when I saw him in person last week, pitched 6 innings of 1 earned run ball with 12 strikeouts, a career high against those Rays. That insane walk-off win with Pete Alonso and extras. Tonight, he goes 7 shutty, 1 hit, 0 walks, 0 earned runs, 9 strikeouts for a 3.44 season ERA. At home this season, he has just over a 1 ERA. He's allowed just 1 home run and 38 strikeouts at home. On the road, he has an over 6 ERA, allowing 5 home runs on around 32 strikeouts. So again, getting acclimated to the league still, it makes sense that he's doing well in a pitcher's park like Citi Field 1, but also a park that he has the most familiarity in versus any other park that he's experiencing for the first time in his young MLB career. So that makes sense as well, but Kodai Senga was absolutely masterful with the Ghost Fork tonight. He made that Phillies lineup look silly, and that's the biggest thing with the Phillies lineup. Even without a Bryce Harper starting tonight, they're a team that are so deep offensively, but they're also very hit or miss when you have the Castellanos, the Schwarbers, the Harpers of the world, and the list goes on and on from there. And of course, I said Castellanos, right? Yes, I did. I mean, you have a lot of these great weapons, and it wouldn't shock me at all if they torch the Mets the next 2 games, but thankfully Kodai Senga was able to get a lot of whiffs on the Ghost Fork and just looks absolutely masterful. Then, of course, offensively, what did he get from the Mets? He didn't get much, but he did get Francisco Lindor hitting his 10th home run of the season. Lindor might be batting only around 230, 235 right now, but he is at least barreling baseballs like no tomorrow. He's an extra base hits god this year that we're seeing. If he's going to make contact, it's a double or a home run every single time. It's weird that Lindor is becoming this prototypical slugger right now, but that is the case so far throughout the first 60 games or so of this Metropolitan season. Offensively, too, again, you had Eduardo Escobar starting today over Brett Beatty, which I didn't love, but again, made sense against Ranger Suarez. He's fared well against lefties, and Eddie, give credit where credit's due. He even stayed in the game where I didn't want him to, per se. I think it was against Marte for the Phillies, and he was able to rip, it was Brogdon of the Phillies, and he was able to rip a single up the middle from the left side of the plate to drive in Marte for the second run of the game, and surely that was enough because Adam Ottavino gives up a walk, and then initially looked like a stolen base. It's a great call. You review it, and you see he's clearly out. Beautiful tag by Jeff McNeil. Terrible call initially by the officiating there, but thankfully it was overturned. The Mets win that challenge, and then Adam Ottavino works a quick 8th for the setup, and then, of course, in the 9th, David Robertson does what he does best, and that's by getting saves. What a revelation he has been as the closer role for this Metropolitan team since Edwin Diaz went down with injury prior to the season even beginning. Former Philly, now foe for them, and he is on the right side here with the Mets, as again, the Mets win by a final score of 2-0. Not a lot of offense, but electric pitching led by Kodai Senga, and they only gave up 2 hits total tonight, so you really can't ask for much more, and hopefully they can secure the series victory tomorrow, which won't be easy, against Aaron Nola, who can definitely be sharp against a Carlos Carrasco, looking to have a second straight consecutive outing in which he himself looks sharp like he did back there in Chicago. But I'm going to pan things to my good friend Jonah, because Jonah, I want to know, what is your biggest takeaway from tonight's game?
Well, I think you said it yourself about Ranger Suarez. Suarez has been struggling ever since he's been coming off his injury, and to have this quality start, I can't ask for much more from him. His command was good. His velocity was pretty good, I would say. 94, 95 fastball on average. His stuff was breaking today, except, as you said it yourself, he just got outpitched by Senga. Our bats were not going. Bryce Harper took the day off, which I wasn't even expecting for him to take the day off, but he
Yeah,
did.
we didn't even realize that until like halfway through the game. I don't know why it took so long for us to click and realize that, oh, yeah, Harper isn't playing.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. What was that, like the seventh or eighth inning?
Yeah.
But overall, again, bats are with the Phillies are so inconsistent, and that's very frustrating as a fan. But it's okay. I guess one day we'll pull together and go to another World Series.
I mean, you did go to the World Series last year after the Mets pistol whipped you guys all season long. So, I mean, anything can happen. It's very early in the year. We know that. Phillies have their holes, their flaws, but certainly do the Mets as well. And now we look ahead for this upcoming next couple of games. It'll be interesting to see. Make sure you're chiming in on the WardyNYM YouTube channel as we'll be covering this series all series long. Again, we've been covering the Mets every single game this year, whether I'm at home doing my post-game shows or attending live at games like we are right now, still stuck in this terrible Citi Field parking traffic. But again, the Mets won by a final score 2-0. One slight gripe I had, Mark Vientos had a nice day at the plate today, had himself a single, had a laser there going deep into the right field corner for a deep single. And then later on the ball game in the eighth, we decide it was the eighth or the ninth, one of the two. It has to be the eighth, right? You had Mark Vientos is taken out of the game for Daniel Vogelbach to pinch hit. And what does Vogie does? He does what he does best, and that is by striking out. Give him credit where credit's due. He took the bat off of his shoulders, but doesn't change the fact that Vogelbach still should not be in those situations. Vientos had a hit. We should not be using him in a platoon role by any stretch. Let him face righties where he has 12 of his 14 home runs at the minor league and major league level combined this year. And Brett Beatty was available off the bench too. Beatty was RBIs galore all road trip, and yet now he hasn't started in 2 consecutive games. Those things are little gripes that I have that need to change, and I know that you're wanting to give opportunities to the veterans, but it's clearly showing in Vogelbach's case that it just is not working out right now. Give credit where credit's due. Eduardo Escobar taking advantage of the playing time that he's getting. That's great to see. But Beatty should still be your starting third baseman overall. And Mark Vientos should be getting daily reps at the DH position all game long and not having to worry about being pulled halfway or towards the end of the game just because of the pitching matchup not necessarily being a lefty. So that's my 2 cents on that. But overall, great game for the Mets. They get the W, and hopefully they get the series dub tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watch this right now, make sure to smash that like and subscribe on if you're enjoying consistent Mets content. Make sure you check out previous content that we've done on the channel and stay tuned for our post-game show tomorrow night as the Mets look for a series dub there against the Phillies. Thank you again, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.